handsome devil, you. I mean you and me. But you, the other side of the phone. All done with church. On the way home. Just trying to say a few things before we get to the destination. In life, there's everything that happens within the life that we currently live, within this construct. Turn this down. Has a parallel or a paradox to it. So in this construct, we have a destination. We have a timeline. We're traveling on a journey. But within the unity of that which is, when you are one with your Father and unaware of time and space, name and form and construct with words and thoughts, there is no destination. You are the destination. You're the landing point. You're the island. You're the planet. You're the star of the show. You are the star of the show. What a beautiful Sunday. Got to interact with a lot of beautiful people. I'm so impressed with this woman and with everyone. I'm so impressed with everyone. Why? Because they come to this village, all coming from different, from all over the world. They might mostly be all Filipinos, but they're very multicultural in themselves. They're very worldly, but not of the world. Like they can go into any environment and be a force for good. Love is so present within this village that it's able to be felt. You can feel it. You can not only see it, but you can feel it. It's such a blessing, you know. There's a movie called Homeless to Harvard. I get all crazy, right? Because it's such a great movie. You might have seen it already. It's called Homeless to Harvard. And that is a depiction of my life. That's almost, it's just a perfect example of what happened to me without having to get into too many stories. Only I went on to fall in the footsteps of my parents for some time. But in the end, I found my Harvard, though. That's Pinnacle Village. I found a group of people that are selfless. And they love unconditionally. I found a group of people that make you want to cry when you can feel the precious gift behind what is transpiring on a weekly basis here in this church. Many churches like this around the world, not every church. Some are not and some are. But even those that aren't are, because you are there. So if you're in a church that's not that perfect or not that great or a little bit of a challenge, you have the same environment I do. Our environment is not our environment the way I describe it because we were lucky. No. We have flaws, all of us. I'm the most flawed out of all of them. There are flaws everywhere. We're imperfect. And that's the perfect, beautiful description to give, the imperfectness. But we see beyond our flaws to our perfection. We see beyond our imperfection, and we see the love instead of the mistake. Something like that. At least that's the only way I know how to describe it. So, I'm not a church, Bible thumping kind of person. You can kind of tell through my videos, but I do support connection with villages around the world. This can be in your home. It starts there. It needs to feed into your work. Wherever you go, you need to bring the village. You are the village. You bring the village to the next person, the neighbor. Whatever a village can give you, whatever the love that you feel that you can receive from a village and give, service and love, this is what you do to everyone. Everyone, especially the one that it's hard to do for. That's where it counts. It doesn't count with your best friend, your neighbor that's friendly. No, that's not on the card. That's not on the report card. The only thing on the report card is during the times of turbulence, how did you hold yourself during the turbulence? What were you saying and feeling and experiencing during the shaky times? Where are you when the storm hits? So that's why I say find a village. Create a village, be the village, bring the village, connect with people, teach people to connect with each other, see beyond the device, be intentional. Practice using your device as a tool so that you can teach other people to practice, to teach them to use their device as a tool. You have the world at your fingertips, but you're not using it to benefit you in any productive way. Monetarily, it's one way. Knowledge and information is another. How to do is another. Forming a connection and developing a village or a community or a gathering, teaching a lesson is another. There's just so many ways to bring back the connection between this divine being that we are. You know? And life is so beautiful. And my church didn't become beautiful. It was something that had to be seen and felt. I'm sure there's plenty of people within my church that do not see the beauty that I see. They feel neglected. They feel disrespected. They feel offended. They feel like they don't get the attention that they deserve or want. Yes, this can be the case, and we try to look out for those people when we're there. We try to see if there's anyone looking uneasy. And I think for overall, we all do a really good job at it. you can see this same beauty even at a church that's not so comfortable. You bring the comfort. You bring the ease. You bring the reason. You bring the idea to make things okay if they're not okay. You're there to stand up to the bully. You're there to be the big brother. You're there to serve. You're there to make the church good because you are not looking at the weaknesses of others, but you're looking at the desire and heart of others to be better than they are, a better version than themselves. And that's why they're at church. So you overlook people and their shortcomings, how they act, how they feel, what they say and how they say it. You learn to live and love together. They say that often at my church. And that's a great statement. That's true. Finding a church, developing a community, creating a community, gathering with other people, connecting with other people, working with other people, sacrificing for other people, giving for other people, and serving and putting down your own interests for other people. This is all shortcuts to this union. These are all shortcuts. These are all musts. And they're not really musts because I have no musts in my playbook. There are no musts in my playbook. And partly this is, while it's a playbook for life and it's a playbook for everyone, I have my own unique environmentally stained glasses by my upbringing. My own conditioning. My own ability to even relate to it and talk about it and share it in the presence of source directly. Totally empty from it. Absolutely clean of every particle of the old self. But I was the worst of the worst. If all I knew is if I could do something, anyone could do something. We hear that a lot. In fact, we look at those that have disabilities, like Nick Vujicic and the surfer girl that had her arm bitten off by a shark. And because of their disabilities, they were able to reach the world with their story. And so we say, well, they had a disability. People would listen to them. No. They, because of their disability, maybe they were able to look at life a little bit different. Some of the barriers were dropped, and they were able to accept and surrender enough to allow the energy to flow through them. And they were submissive and obedient at that point to the energy, to God, to Source. And the energy took them on a ride. And they were able to experience the flow because of something that happened to them in their life that was pretty extreme. A lot of men and women that have become millionaires have used their struggle that they started life with and grew up with to help drive them to their success. Matrix. Be on the lookout. Something's happening in the Matrix. You're my focus. So, yeah. If you can make it, anyone can make it. If I can make it, anyone can make it. And I tell you this. I don't know how to say this so that you can get it from me, but I was really... you can already tell I'm, out of the box. This is varsity. This is summa cum laude. This is Yale, but the classroom at Yale and Harvard that you can't get into. Not only because you don't have enough money, but because you don't know the right people, or you're not connected, or, it's just not for you. This is a very exclusive group that I speak to. This is a very small percentage of humanity, the divine essence of humanity. Those that know their true self, those that know their true identity. I come to bring identity. I come to bring your true identity. I come to reveal it. My pointing, or the message that's spoken through me, absent of the mark, that used to be, is a message of identity. Baselining, or being... And the reason why I use the word baselining is because I work for Xerox, a conglomerate. They're more than a company. They're more than a corporation. They're more than an entity. They're more than... they've got their hands in some pretty big stuff. They're a conglomerate. And we baseline copiers. Big copiers, we baseline them when we put them out. And so the reason why I talk about baselining is because that's what I'm familiar with. But for me, that's a beautiful term to use, baseline. Because if you don't get baselined, you don't function right throughout your whole working environment, life. You're not functioning correctly. Baselining is simple. But it's not something that you just know. It's not something that you hear from me and then you go, oh, okay, cool, I know that. I mean, I believe that. I believe that. He's right, yeah. No. You may know it. You may know of it. And now that I say, because it's part of you, it is you. Of course you relate to it. Of course you're going to resonate with it. Of course it's going to be relatable because it is you. So I'm not even going to say if you resonate with it. I know you resonate with it, whether you admit it or not. You can listen to me because no one knows you're listening to me. You can do it when everyone's gone. You can agree with whatever critics you hear. That's fine. But I know that this is something that you will resonate with. And so baselining is knowing that God is all in all. That God is in everything and in everyone. That there's nothing outside of God. I know I lose a lot of you because you think I'm coming on and just repeating the same thing over and over. But I am in a way because it's very important. We do that to the copier too. And it's done to you on a daily basis in and out of your environment within the conditioning that is done to you. I just do it direct. I keep saying it over and over and over. And I'm not concerned with whether you get tired of it and click me off. Whether you're listening or not, that's not important. I'm talking to a future audience, if you will. Or I'm talking to myself. Or I'm talking to the millions that are in front of me right now that you are not aware of and I am. And I'm saying, hey, baselining is the most important thing. not only knowing that God is all in all, but everything that comes along with that. Baseline is a starting point. So we know that God is all in all. We know that we are eternal. We know that there's no such thing as death. These all are a result of baselining. And it's not anything new that's being added, nor anything that's being taken away. It's more a dissolving of what we used to believe we knew about life. We were conditioned to believe that we could only live for a certain amount of years within this physical construct. So that's what we're trying to dissolve, the conditioning of the mortal idea. Death is an avoidable accident. These kinds of conversations don't happen outside of the varsity room. It's not an elite class. It's not those that know more. No. It's those that serve the whole. It's those that sacrificed their life for the whole. It's those that are willing to go without so you can go with. It's only a word being used to say that there aren't many classrooms out there like this. If you made it here, you're listening to some really good information, some really good data that's been collected throughout time, hidden and handed down to humanity. Christ wasn't all over the place. Jesus Christ was very direct. Jesus Christ wasn't trying to solve all the issues around everywhere. It's in duality that you find this issue that you have. And that's why it's repeated. Somehow when we are in a position of looking up to God, looking outside for God, we miss the whole meaning of life. We miss life itself. Life lives even in spite of our illusory disconnection. It's all God, even in even in your own feeling of separation. That came out okay. Even in your own feeling of being separate, that's God. That is God. You're safe even there. There's nothing to be saved from. I'm not here to save you. I'm here because I'm a voice in the wilderness. This voice, this class, this varsity classroom that's being developed, not by me, but by God, by Source, by the need that rises to bring unity to mankind, will last for eternity. This voice and this message, or this pointing, will go on infinitum, forever, eternally. It has already. I am not anyone bringing any new message. This is not anything new. It's just what is not lived within the construct that you are currently living within. Very, very, very few have been able to release and relinquish the self. Very few. Very few. That's why I can speak to people in general as a majority. That's why I can say, I kind of know where you're at, because I'm speaking to you within the illusion. I'm not speaking to my brothers and sisters. You are my brothers and sisters. I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters. I'm speaking to myself, but I'm not speaking to those that are already in this unity. I am one with them. They are doing the same thing all over the place. Anyone who has experienced this unity is immediately serving and pointing to this unity. Everyone that is or has and is being one with this unity is in some way, form, or fashion doing exactly what I'm doing, pointing to this unity, living a non-dual life, allowing the Christ within to reign supreme. No interference. Everyone, all ultimately, that means you. I am you. This is none other than you. Coming back to you, for you. It's amazing. When you're empty and you allow God's will to prevail in your life, you can feel, I think is the best word to say, feel the theme of the energy that exists. You can feel that the aliveness. You can feel the love that God wants to express to himself and to you, the so-called other. You can feel the purposeful intent occurring by God. It's so undescribable. That's why baselining is so important. Because what gets us in life is when we're not baseline. We're good, we're flowing, we're doing good, we're feeling great, we're one with God, and we always are, and we're really feeling high, we're catching a glimpse, and we're not baseline, so something shakes us and rattles us, and we fall apart. Because we forget that we're actually okay in the hands of God. God is within us, that we are the very essence of that which is. You can say it in so many different ways. Miss me with the false humility. Sorry, God resides within. Miss me with the unawareness of, miss me with the playground. What do you got? It's like a cartoon, storybook, interpretation, if you will. Some being up in the sky waving a wand. Leave that story at home. Or that story is for no one, not even for my children. I'm sorry if you have to hear that here. But that is so yesterday that it's almost funny. It is so it makes me laugh. But anyway, this is class. This is where class begins. This is where the chill spot is. This is where we become whole. This is where we become to be able to see what's going on around us within everyone's life. We can have compassion because we understand what they're going through. We can be patient because we know that they are none other than ourselves. We can love because we know it's God in front of us. We can understand because we know what they're going through. We can sympathize, and we can be patient with the way that they express themselves. We can engage with them where they're at because we understand where they're at, because we're baselined. We know there's eternal life, so we're not conflicted with the fear of death. We know there was never a birth, nor was there ever a death. That death is just an illusion. This is easy to see and logical. If it wasn't, I wouldn't feed. This is easy to see. It's very, very clear and obvious. And this is baselining. That's why it's basic. Basic training. If you haven't reached basic training yet, you're still in pre-K. Sometimes you can look like you're really smart and know a lot. You haven't even been baselined yet. You don't even know that God is all in all. You believe there's something outside of God battling God. There's an adversary. You haven't done any real contemplation. You haven't done any real soul searching. You haven't gone through any real struggle. No. And if you have, and you haven't been able to see because of that struggle, the depth of life, the eternality of life, everyone grows in their own way and at their own speed. There's really no growth going on. But this is baselining. So if you haven't had that schooling yet, this is the classroom while you're here. You may not agree with me, but you're here. You may agree, you may not have looked at it that way before. But we need to baseline you. Nothing in this world is without God. There's nothing battling God. We don't have to do anything to become who we already are. We are perfect already. I gotta give it to you the way that I'm giving it to you now, because this is just a beginning process of developing this classroom, this retreat engagement, this event creator, this gathering of a community, this bringing together of like-minded individuals and developing a group of people. We are going to do all this, and this is just the beginning stages of that. So I'm recording and posting everything, whether it's good or not, and for the most part you may hear it, and I don't really know what others will think of what my videos are or how they are or what they're hearing, but that's not important. What's important is I work through the process myself, for you. Apparently, and so what's important is I work through the process, and I allow the energy to flow through me and communicate to the best of my ability and work through this whole development of breaking the code of YouTube and utilizing and exercising and being effective on the platform. So the whole idea of using a platform like this is to be effective. How effective can you be? How much viewership can you grow? Excuse me. And so I see no limit to that. I mean, I'm not really worried about it or concerned about it because I'm not in the picture, but I see no limit to the amount of viewership that's coming. I know that there's millions of people that will relate and will like what's being said and want to be part of a group. Who else is willing to, build a group? And we can do all kinds of stuff. We can help each other. We can speak at different functions and events. TED Talks, hey, who knows? Someday. So you can't stop love, you can't resist love, and that's what this is. Coming at you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, bringing you the core of the truth, bringing you to the heart of the matter, bringing the heart to you, letting you see my heart, making sure you have your own too, and it's all just one big heart. Much love, family. Love you. See you on the next video. GEO, what's up? What's up, homie? What's up, NorCal family? What's up, SoCal family? That's right. Much love.